What's up, guys? Scott here with Wandering the Wilderness, and just want to have a little discussion with you on what's the deal with Easter. All right, so it's some of it can kind of be a little confusing. What do the eggs and the rabbit have to do with the resurrection of Christ? So, honestly, I knew some from previous research, but I did some more research and I learned some more things, and thought I would just share some of these fun facts with you guys. All right, so the word Easter originates from the pagan false god Yauster, which was the god of fertility. Right, so during this time period, which was in April, it would be celebrated by the pagans with drunken parties and orgies and sex and everything that has to do with reproduction and hoping for fertility. That was kind of the idea behind that. Then within the Christian culture, we celebrated the resurrection of Christ. Now, the reasoning for this is because we can kind of date it back based on the Jewish calendar as of when it happened in with the Passover of the Jewish holiday, and get an idea of the time frame of when that happened, which was April. So we kind of have these two holidays, or these two events that happen in April, one being pagan, one being Christian and Jewish. So we have all these things going on. So what I found out too is that the false god Yauster had a rabbit that laid eggs, and it was named Ostrahaze. All right, so that's where the idea of the rabbit and the egg came from. I didn't know that. So the egg hunt started in 1700 by the Dutch in Pennsylvania. They would have the kids go out looking for these eggs that were laid apparently by this rabbit named Ostrahaze. So it's kind of unique, but it goes back to the pagan false god of Yauster. Because of a lot of this blending into the exact same month of April, a lot of these things kind of got blended together. And over time, the egg being a symbol of life and rebirth, the Christians started using it as a resurrection, or a symbol of resurrection from the rebirth. And when they would do the egg hunt, they would dye the egg red to symbolize the blood of Christ. So kind of a lot of stuff going on right there. So we kind of got the pagan holiday, the name, the egg, everything kind of coming over from that, blending in with the Christian holiday and the celebration of the resurrection of Christ. So obviously doing these little egg hunts and things like that can be fun, but it's good to know where the information, where the symbolism came from, to be able to understand why there's rabbits and why there's eggs and what the whole deal is with all of that and what it has to do with the resurrection of Christ. So, in reality, the bunny and the egg doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the resurrection, but over time it was blended into the celebration of the resurrection of Christ. Traditionally, the Catholic Church would celebrate the resurrection in April, and it would have been celebrated with what they called the sacraments, which would be the bread and the wine, symbolizing the body and the blood of Christ. And it would also be a time of water baptism, which would typically be done once a year. And so that's how the early church celebrated Easter. And over time, these two blended. As cultures, society, people groups blend and kind of live and cohabitate an area, some of their traditions kind of get picked up by one another. So, this is kind of a little bit of the Christian way of combating some of the pagan teachings and beliefs, but also some of it, I believe, just kind of blended naturally because maybe see some kids out having fun collecting eggs. Hey, let's do that too. That's a fun idea, kind of like I'm sure you can get the idea of within your own neighborhood, keeping up with the Joneses or whatever we do within social media. You see somebody doing something that looks fun and entertaining, and so you do it too because you enjoy it. And I think some of that probably went on as well. I'm sure there was the Christian combating paganism going on, but I think some of it probably happened organically and just trying to have some fun, which is probably what's going on today, right? Many people don't think about what the rabbit and the egg has to do with the resurrection of Christ. We just do it because it is something that is part of our culture. That's how we celebrate Easter. But it's good to know the history and some of these facts. So anyway, just wanted to discuss what the deal was with Easter, and through this process, I was challenged to learn some myself. So that's what's up. Thanks for watching, guys.